Well, thank you for listening today. We're going to talk about how Storj delivers content faster as CDN origin and how a distributed network can provide a lower cost and faster, more performant solution for your CDN origin. CDN origin is critical to a lot of business processes across a lot of different domains. It's not just about streaming content from Netflix. Media is a big portion of it, but there's also a lot of marketing use cases for delivering content for advertisements and informational videos and websites. Software distribution is a key component as well, whether it's large files or small, short updates or full application downloads, and of course gaming with videos and introductions and new game ROM distribution. All of these use cases require distributing large amounts of content very quickly to end users, and end users are extremely sensitive to that quick, performant, low latency, instant access to data. Traditional CDN approaches have a lot of limitations to them. If you really want your content to be globally fast everywhere, that means you're replicating your content to multiple data centers and multiple places to interact with multiple CDNs in an efficient way. But that replication comes at a high cost. Every time you copy that data to a different location, you're not only paying for it twice, but you're paying to move that data from one point to another. And that cost adds up. And not only does that cost add up, but you run into performance bottlenecks where you need strong consistency so everybody's getting the most recent copy of their data instantly. And if data moves around, if you have those single pipes between locations, it tends to result in cache misses and a bad user experience. There's a different approach now with Storj. We have a distributed cloud service, and that distributed cloud service gives you that fast global performance everywhere without replication. That means with a single copy, our service can be faster than any other content origin available. And that means lower cost. So with just one simple copy, 80% lower cost than the hyperscalers, you're getting the same performance as multiple replications globally for your CDN. And that fast everywhere experience ultimately translates directly to ROI for you because you have a faster experience, lower cost, and a better customer experience at the end of the day. So diving into our architecture a little bit, it helps to sort of look at how it's done today versus how we do it to understand why it's faster. So a typical upload and download round trip for data to sort of refresh that cache and distribute your data through traditional architectures requires that your data start wherever the origin is, go to its cloud-hosted endpoint over a single path through the internet, where you're beholden to the slowest point on that internet. So if there is a router that's slow, if there's an ISP that's flapping, you end up with slow content. And that same process goes for download. When you're distributing that cache or that origin to your endpoint, and it's going all the way across the internet, everywhere it hits a slow point, it's going to slow down. Storj does it a little bit differently. Instead of storing all of your data in whole copies replicated in data centers, what we do is we break up your data into very small pieces with redundancy built in. We distribute those small pieces across thousands and thousands of endpoints all over the internet. And then when someone goes to download that data, they only need a subset of those pieces because we've got erasure coded redundancy built right in. And that means they're getting the closest pieces to them by origin, and those closest pieces are all moved in parallel. So you get incredibly high throughput with incredibly low latency, all from a single upload to anywhere in the world. Who's using us? A lot of companies use us for CDN origin. A great example is Sardius Media. Sardius Media gets 80% lower cost with Storj compared to any other CDN origin, but they're getting 40% faster global media distribution for their performance rates and up to 70% faster in key markets. And a lot of those key markets are markets that are already underserved by the global hyperscalers. And what that means is that those are the markets where it's absolutely most expensive to store and retrieve data. And Sardius is extremely happy with the performance they're providing. So we deliver not just an innovative product, but we also deliver innovative pricing. And so this is a pricing platform for CDN origin that doesn't just give you the cost to store and doesn't include that cost to transfer between regions at all. And you're not paying full freight for egress. Instead, what you're paying for is transit, buying it just like you would transit from a data center where you're used to buying it on the 95th percentile billing. We give you a model just like that. It's the most economical way to buy massive scale CDN origin out there. So with paying only for transit with no replication fees and no acceleration fees, you get faster performance than globally than Amazon's S3 accelerated transfer for an enormously lower price. So when you look globally here, and in these bars, this graph, smaller bars mean faster. If you look from left to right here, comparing us between AWS accelerated transfer, Azure, and Google, for $7 for transit from our global service and $10 for transit from our S3 compatible SOC 2 compliant data tier, we're just as fast as the fastest services out there. But comparing that to $130 for Amazon's accelerated transfer, $7 is a pretty good deal. So the cost of doing nothing is very high. If you stay with your existing provider, your CDN performance depends on your ability to replicate and replicate quickly. The infrastructures are complex and the pricing is even worse. With Storj, you get simple pricing, global distribution, one copy, strong consistency for read after writes, and absolutely the fastest delivery out there. So your next steps? Come on over, talk to an expert in our booth, set up a free trial. You can sign up and drive. Everything we've shown you today, you'll experience yourself, whether you talk to us or not. But we'd love a check-in meeting to see how you're doing. So come on and talk to us about CDN Origin. Thanks.